Over the last 10 years, we've worked with many clients and we've helped many of them to choose new brokers. And so I thought we'd talk a little bit about that right now. You know, what we find when we meet clients for the first time is that most clients like their broker, and that's not too surprising. However, after we work with a client over time, clients typically change brokers, not always, but very, very often. And if you think about it, probably the biggest reason is that clients usually find their current broker in somewhat random ways. It might be socially at the church or a golf course. It might be someone that got through on a cold call to that particular business. It could be a referral from a friend in a different business where the broker may or may not be a fit. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it that a lot of the brokers are inappropriate for the clients. And in our opinion, over half of the clients that we've run into are overpaying significantly because they're with the wrong broker. And our emphasis here is on, right now in the video, is choosing brokers to help you lower pricing. There are many other issues, and we recognize that, and we address those in the document that you can download called Choosing Brokers on the website. But we're going to talk about choosing a broker to help you negotiate lower pricing. And this is whether you want to choose a new broker or choose a broker to compete with your current broker. We think the most important thing when trying to find a broker to help you lower your premium is to find somebody that's really a good negotiator. And by that we mean someone who's going to put together a lot of arguments, put together not only the base application, because underwriters, as we've said before, underwriters would say that 75% of applications are bare bones. So it's relatively unusual that a broker really puts in the hours and hours of effort needed to put together a great application with lots of arguments and long narratives and loss arguments, etc., that can make the most compelling presentation to an underwriter. And so what we recommend is that you consider talking to an underwriter. And in particular, if you talk to brokers and you hear the name of a particular insurance company or a couple of insurance companies that come up frequently as very competitive currently, talk to one of those underwriters and ask them for the name of 3 brokers. If you ask for only the name of one broker, most underwriters are going to be reluctant to tell you about one particular broker, but they're often more comfortable telling you about 3. They don't feel they're really discriminating in that way. And you can talk to them about your particular needs, of course, and you should do that. But in particular, I would press the underwriter to tell you about brokers who are good negotiators, who can deliver low pricing by making good arguments, who work hard on the application and prepare better applications than most brokers, with long written arguments and on both your exposures and your losses. And so you'll get a really good feel from underwriters if you talk to them about that, about who is a really good broker. A couple of considerations: the size of the brokerage firm. We tend to be very careful when we help clients select new brokers to align them with a broker that's going to treat that client as very valuable if they in fact write the business. So typically we would not recommend that a client select a broker that's with a firm that handles many larger accounts than that particular client, because we don't think there's very much of a likelihood that that client is going to be treated like a valuable client if in fact the broker wins the business. We really recommend that clients look for a brokerage firm where they're going to be the big fish in the pond. And that means you're working with a broker who might write other similar sized companies to yours, and perhaps the brokerage firm writes smaller companies, so that the broker is a good fit in terms of the capabilities and the size of account that broker is working on with you, but that the brokerage firm values you as a real big fish, and you'll get better service that way, we think. Talk about experience of the broker. We don't think experience in the particular industry is that important, with a couple of exceptions. In healthcare, we really think the broker needs to have special industry experience. In construction, we think the broker needs to have pretty much an exclusive focus on construction. But in most other industries, we think it would be better to have a good, strong negotiating broker who is less familiar with your industry than to have an average broker who is very familiar with the industry. And the reason is that a good broker can use a lot of internal tools that most brokers have to learn quickly about your industry and what the real key issues are. So we'd much rather have a strong broker with little experience than a weak broker with a lot of experience. And of course, there are service issues, and in the document you can download off the website, we'll address those, and you can talk to the underwriters and to the brokers about those service issues first. Last couple of issues here. We're going to talk about program, access, and what we call momentum in the next video.